Welcome to the exciting rebirth of Superstar, featuring choose your membership rate as low as just $3 a month. At Superstar, you get expanded, exclusive video scopes each and every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes, class passes for Synchronicity University, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there. Hello, fabulous superstar Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of November 2022. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. And this really is a very special time for you. And the big reason, the star of the show for you, without a doubt, the most important moment, very likely, is going to be the lunar eclipse that takes place in your sign on November 8th. This lunar eclipse is special. On the one hand, simply having an eclipse in your sign is a really big deal, because eclipses sometimes can be delivered dramatically, but always represent some sense of being aligned with a higher, more loving vision for your life in a particular area of life. When it is an eclipse in your sign, it is you being redefined in some way, you knowing who you are differently, your identity going through a shift. When it's a lunar eclipse, some part of your identity that you'd held on to for so long has served its purpose. You have the realization that in order to now go forward and live that much more fully, there are certain activities, certain ways of being that you may have over-identified with that you no longer need to. But the drama of this energy is so much more magnified simply by the fact that it is Uranus that is hand in hand with this eclipse. This is such a big deal because it does suggest, on the one hand, an important moment as part of 2022. And actually, an important characteristic of this year has been the way in which we've had eclipse activations hand in hand with Uranus. Of course, late July, beginning of August, we had the North Node in your sign meeting Uranus as well. And so there's an overall sort of karmic trend to this year for you. A sense that your pathway forward and onward and your understanding of new people, places, things, situations coming in that represent karmic blessings, well, it all comes with a whole lot of change, a whole lot of new, and is delivered in ways that are rather unexpected as well. But there is dramatic alignment, or we could even say realignment, with some version or vision of you that may feel like it comes out of nowhere. But if you reflect, once we get there, if you reflect, a part of you may come to realize that this has been a long time coming. Depending on how in tune you are with listening to the messages of the universe and striving to stay conscious, well, it tends to be the case that eclipses can be a little bit easier. However, again, this is a lot of very dramatic energy. Whatever you think is going to happen probably won't. Whomever it is that you think you're now leaping towards, it's probably something very different. But what I can say is it is honest. It is authentic. As much as there are closures now, there's also a sense of freedom, a sense of excitement, a sense of understanding that with a closure comes a brand new chapter. And I do think that there's a lot of Taurus out there that are going to feel as if they come in contact with a newfound enthusiasm for their lives or for your life. A newfound awareness of all that you have yet to be in this lifetime. That glimpse can be quite remarkable. And so when we have an eclipse in your sign, there are certain examples I like to give, things I've seen over the years. I have seen when people have eclipses in their sign, I've seen a lot of people quit using drugs. I've seen a lot of people make very dramatic changes to their life in some way. So maybe a relationship ends, maybe a particular job that they hated, they realize they don't want to do that anymore. The thing is that whatever changes, it's rooted in identity. It's rooted in priorities. It's not so much about what's happening in other areas of life. It's about what's happening with you. I have seen a couple of people over the years who had an eclipse in their sign and they went vegan. I remember 2 people going vegan. One told me how they went vegetarian. I remember one person who was vegan for 10 years, had an eclipse in their sign, started eating meat again. And in these cases, what we see is a shift in identity. The I am, and whatever your answer is, it goes through an evolution that's right for you at this moment and this time in your life. This redefining of self has a sweeping effect. This redefining of self may feel like it comes as a result of inspirations, insights, or events that feel like they come out of nowhere, but end up being tremendously important to you now and moving forward from here. Now, as we navigate further, it is going to be the 26th of the month that we will have this month's new moon. And this new moon is special as well. It is taking place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with profound change, profound truth, and your connection to financial institutions as well. Your ability to access resources are covered here as well. And so this particular new moon is hand in hand with Mercury and Venus. So that says there are heart, there are awarenesses around ideas, there are awarenesses of what your heart feels, awarenesses around the connections and conversations that you're having that are facilitating even deeper, more profound change within you. You may be striving at this point to understand something related to the events of earlier this month when we were in eclipse season, when we had that eclipse in your sign as well. And it is now that you're able to take whatever has occurred and help to understand yourself that much more deeply and that much more fully as well. Regardless, though, in some way you're understanding wealth differently. You're understanding what it means to be authentically you differently at this new moon as well. But there's something else happening under the light of this new moon that I think is so special, so pronounced. And that is the fact that 5 minutes after the perfection of the new moon, and from a cosmic perspective, it's simultaneously happening. The ruling planet of the sign in which we have that new moon, the ruling planet Jupiter, goes direct. And so this emphasizes that focus on new moon, new beginnings, fresh insight energy. New chapters are in the works at this time. And these are chapters that you really are very enthusiastic about as well. It is Jupiter that is now going to go direct in a part of the sky for you that has to do with an understanding of whom you are aligned with in terms of friendships, in terms of professional alliances as well. There is an understanding of how these people in some way bless your life, facilitate healing, but also perhaps how some of these people may have served their purpose in some way that might be part of this Jupiter direct energy for some Taurians out there. But I think a much more likely scenario is that as a result of who you know, a friend, speaking to a friend, spending time with a friend, you gain new insights into yourself, your motivations, your psychology, where it is now that transformation is ready to take deeper roots within yourself and within your life. And it can also be one of these people that reminds you of how prosperous you are in all kinds of ways. The new moon energy may bring you into contact with financial institutions. So if it was that you were hoping to access resources in some way, well, that new moon can put you on the right pathway towards that as well. Now, where it comes to matters of love, it will be the first 16 days of this month that we're going to have Venus continuing to move through your opposite sign. If you remember late last month, we had an eclipse in your opposite sign as well. And so all of this does suggest that where it comes to love, there's a sense of blessing and possibility and even fresh new chapters that you are already in the midst of. But for now and for this month, a lot of what takes place is going to be about what you're learning and understanding by having your ruling planet Venus in your opposite sign. So for those of you open to meeting someone new, when we have Venus moving through your opposite sign, it becomes that much easier to attract somebody who has real long-term potential. And your romantic interactions with others can hold that sense of promise, of possibility of moving towards partnership as well. At the very least, I think it feels that much easier to engage other people as part of moving towards greater love than you've known before. For those of you just starting to date somebody, well, look, Venus in your opposite sign just brings an energy of sweetness and light. The fact that late last month you had the solar eclipse in your sign as well does suggest that either you've just recently met this person or you've been dating this person, but you have felt as if the two of you have had some sort of new understanding or new beginning transpire now and moving forward from here. Venus adds that much more sweetness and light to the interactions that the two of you might share. The other thing that could be taking place is if this really is someone you're just starting to date and getting to know, with Venus in your opposite sign, chances are there are options available to you in the context of love, and you may be looking at some of those as well. And for those of you in an established bond, what a remarkable time this can be. In established bonds, there's a real sense here of connecting, of feeling your partner be that much easier to get along with, that much sweeter as well. And so that sense of real connection and understanding can feel like it really is there and fosters that much more. But for all that, there is, of course, that energy of the solar eclipse that happened late last month. And so in some way, it may feel as if the two of you have a brand new understanding as part of enjoying a brand new beginning going forward from here. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It is a valuable astrological moment. I love how you are certainly moving onward and moving forward and truly excited about yourself and about whom it is that you are now becoming. For some Taurians, though, this revelation or realization may feel like it comes out of nowhere. It is the surprise factor that may actually feel like a shock in some way, if I'm being very straightforward with you. But that is part of what makes this that much more a special time. You are coming to understand what it means to be you differently, more hopefully, and expansively in this lifetime. Your understanding of whom it is you are is leaping forward into your future. And it's a future that is positively hopeful and inspiring as well. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership rate at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Now, higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. I look forward to meeting you there, and link is in the description below. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.